So these days, when I got into the real estate, I figured out through some trials and tribulations that I'm really chasing cash flow, right? Because cash flow is what pays the bills. Everybody, there's that saying, cash is king, but I probably want to get a shirt that says cash flow is king, right?
Mhm.
So in order to create cash flow, I believe that also is what is part of the equation for time freedom.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds, and I'm excited. As you know, I always say that because, if you've been listening to me long enough, I love to get a chance to peek at things through other people's lenses. No matter what we all may do, be involved in a similar, everybody have their specific nuances, specific expertise, specific journey, and specific story. And so today is no different. I have someone here. Oh man, we're gonna dig into some things. He has a hunger for learning, the ability to be inspired, and I'm gonna say to inspire, but also looking just for something bigger. And I love that. And he has proudly said he is comfortable with being uncomfortable. I'm still learning that skill set, but he has it. So we're gonna probably talk about that too. But I'm excited to introduce you all to Mr. Jason Surratt. How you doing today, sir?
Thanks so much, Quinn. Thanks for having me on today. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Glad to have you here. And listen, I'll be honest, I want to dive in. I want you to tell the people what your main focus is these days. If you want to give us a little bit of an origin story, Jason, of how you got to where you are, we love the hero's journey. So you want to tell us, how you got there, and then also would tell us what markets you're operating in. And so, Mr. Jason, you have the floor, sir.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The origin story is a long one, so I'll try to keep it short. But the idea is that I'm always I've always been enamored with the idea of having freedom, right? Being able to control your time and um, choosing to spend that time where you see fit. And for me, that's usually doing some sort of experience. And as I got older, it was always about creating experiences for my family. I'm a big proponent of, experiences are the best teachers of life. And so that kind of got me started in my real estate journey, if you will. I had been working at a corporate company for, at that time, probably the better part of 5, 6 years. And I had come from the pro sports world where I got to play 1 year of professional baseball and landed in the corporate world because wasn't really sure I wanted to do something like coaching or anything like that yet.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And from there, about 5-6 years into that, I realized that, I should remember that I wanted to get back into being an entrepreneur so I could have more control of my time, didn't have to report to an office, everything that kind of what people talk about these days, right?
Yes, sir.
And, entered again real estate. And I guess to give you context why I say entered again, straight out of high school, I have an interesting sports journey. So straight out of high school, I wasn't even playing sports yet. I worked for a construction company. During that time, we would do remodels and stuff like that. Nothing like fix and flips, but that's how I was thinking to myself, like, oh, when I get older, I could probably do some fix and flips. I like, kind of fixing things and taking old stuff, making it new. And this is way before like HGTV made it popular. So at my corporate job, I started thinking, oh, maybe I can get back into real estate. And the other thing that kind of coincided with that is the ability to, create generational wealth. I know it's kind of a buzzword right now, but I always was enamored by those who were wealthy and had a legacy that they left behind and had children who would keep it going and stuff like that. So that's what first attracted me to generational wealth, so to speak, before it became sort of a buzzword these days. And I thought real estate, what better of a vehicle? It's the most time-tested, proven vehicle for, to create time freedom, to create generational wealth. The system of taxes that we play in here in the U.S. is heavily, slated towards owning and being a real estate investor. And so, or a business owner, entrepreneur, if you will. And so I said, let's get back into it. And that's kind of where my journey started. And then it goes on from there, but just depends on, what aspect of the journey you're looking to learn more about.
Yeah. No, man, I'm just really learning more about you. So everything you've given me, I've enjoyed. I love hearing. I don't want to put a cap on how much you share or a cap on how little you share. So I appreciate that. So what are your main focuses now? Like when it comes to business, what are you passionate about now? What really has your engines running now?
Great question. I would say the passion has always been the same. It's that time freedom, right? Because again, I want the freedom to create experiences for my family on my time versus, retiring and then enjoying life then, right? And by then, we've all seen it from our grandparents or other people or people maybe that we know. Your health and your even your cognitive abilities, right? They're not guaranteed in our retirement years. Especially our health. You never know what's going to happen with that. And I've always been a big proponent of enjoying life now. I was fortunate enough to travel a lot after I graduated high school and before I sort of got into my baseball journey. I went on the Great Wall of China, went to the Eiffel Tower. So places like that, when you do stuff like that, it opens your eyes to realizing that there's a whole world out there. And so if you just kind of live in your own bubble and just work and don't travel, you don't get a chance to experience those things. So that's still my main focus. So these days, when I got into the real estate, I figured out through some trials and tribulations that I'm really chasing cash flow, right? Because cash flow is what pays the bills. Everybody, there's that saying, cash is king, but I probably want to get a shirt that says cash flow is king, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in order to create cash flow, I believe that also is what is part of the equation for time freedom.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So what drives me is cash flow, eventually equity. And so right now I am focusing on transitioning from an STR portfolio, a short-term rental portfolio that I had built when I first started getting into the real estate world. And that's kind of what allowed me to start chasing cash flow without a big barrier to entry. Is I built a a short-term rental portfolio in California. And then I was going to parlay that into multifamily because I just felt like multifamily was the long play game and short-term rental was more of the what's happening in the market now, right? But both were under the real estate umbrella, if you will. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to stay focused in one area because there's that adage that, he who chases two rabbits catches none, until I'm successful enough in real estate where then I could start to venture out onto other things. So now it's transitioned from short-term rentals into multifamily.
Got you. I absolutely love it. So I love how, you talked about baseball. You and I was talking a little bit before. We're both stellar athletes. We're both, Clydesdale, I'm joking. But no, but
Me would have played longer.
yeah, right. But one thing I know we probably could agree on is that, sports have a certain way of teaching you like certain set of disciplines, right? And so I always have this saying where I say destiny has no wasted moments, meaning like as you go through your life, certain destinations, you pick up things, skill sets that are just transferable to your mindset, to your psyche, and different things like that. And so I would love to know, have you identified or can you identify some core strategies, personal strategies that help you out as a businessman and just as a person, as a man in life? So are there some core strategies that you can pinpoint to say, yeah, this definitely helps keep me grounded, keep me motivated. When I go off course, gets me back on course, different things like that.
Great question. And it's funny you bring that up because I played the game of baseball, but I guess it's similar to a lot of athletics, right? You think of Michael Jordan and the Nike commercial where I missed 7,000 shots, but I made 3,000. And so if you think about that in the game of baseball, it's literally a game of failure, right? Um, Only the Hall of Famers who who the top 3% of any baseball player to ever play who hit 290, 300-ish get to go to the Hall of Fame. That means you're getting 3 out of every, 10 at bats, you're getting 3 hits. That means 7 times you're doing something wrong, right? Mhm. And so that love of the game, understanding that it's all about failing and less about succeeding, that allows you to keep going and looking for what to learn in those moments. And I've always wanted to kind of write a memoir just about how the relationship between, for me, playing baseball and life has been because, when I left baseball, I fell into sales as far as the corporate world goes. And so sales is also a game of failure. And so the relationship between the two was so similar that I started to see that early on and started realizing like, okay, I can take all the skills that I learned from failing, making adjustments, willing to
Mm.
have coaches, willing to be teachable, willing to be a student, willing to be humble. There's just so many lessons that I pulled from baseball and translated those into the sales world and just into life in general, because that's really what it is. It's really about figuring out what you're after, what you're looking for. And then once you find that out, now it's about learning the knowledge. And then learning is all about trying and figuring out what works and doesn't work. And that may look different for each person. So, yeah, I would say that that is probably the most transferable thing that I've taken across all aspects of my life.
Yeah.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I appreciate you sharing. Now, I'm gonna say something I've never said before, and you tell me if it connects with you. I've never said it before, but as you was talking, I was inspired to write this down. Failure is fertilizer.
Ooh,
Failure is fertilizer. And when you think about some fertilizer, some of it stinks, some of it's manure, right? But there's benefits once you get that thing down into the roots. And so as you was talking, the stinkiness of failure, the messiness of failure is fertilizer for growth. And so I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna pass this on to you. But you tell me, when I think about baseball, I think about there's different components to it. You got to stretch well.
hmm,
So some people, you gotta sometimes your hitting stance, the proper swing, the proper footwork, like all these things are important to the success. All of these things you do on a constant basis just to strike out how many times? Just to hit the ball 30% of the time, right? And so as you was talking, it made me realize that the little things matter, but what matters more is your mindset to keep going, to keep
yes.
to make every take every advantage of the success that you do have, but knowing that just a failure is fertilizer. Like, does that connect with you at all?
Oof. That is, I mean, just like I said when you said it, that is absolute fire. I have not yet heard that, and that's, I mean, you got to coin that immediately because
Gotcha.
that is absolute truth right there because of exactly what you said. Fertilizer, just like you said, you think of like manure, it stinks, stuff like that. And that's the thing. Failing is it's messy, it's miserable. And it all comes down to perspective, right? You can look at it as you're failing, or you can look at it as if you're learning. And that was me with baseball, as I was looking at it as I was learning. I wasn't failing because to me, I had gotten nowhere near my goal. And so every step of the way was just learning how to get better.
Yeah.
Plus, I understood that I was starting much later in life and I needed to get those reps in and fail quickly and faster so that I can catch up to the guys who've been playing since they were 5 or 6, which I had not been. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that resonates. That resonates. We need to get that, we need to get that on some t-shirts and
Yeah.
some hats and some bumper stickers or something because I
Got you.
think
Well,
that
man,
would
I'm with you. I wrote it down. I'm gonna start saying it more, but I'm gonna make sure I give you a shout out too, because as you was talking, that's when that thought came to mind, and so we did it together. It's partnership, man. Let me ask you. I'm gonna move on to my next question, but I do want to ask you. Um, have you heard of the book Atomic Habits? I always talk about this book a lot, but have you heard about the book Atomic Habits? Okay,
absolutely
so cool.
anybody
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
aspiring to be, do, have better than what they are now. That's got to be a book that you've at least thumbed through, if not read thoroughly.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So of course, I think about his baseball. When he talked about his baseball story, like the different things that he did. So as he was talking, those are some of the things that came to mind. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, man. Um,
That is true. He says we don't rise to the occasion, we fall to our habits.
come on.
Same thing in baseball. It's the same thing with sports. That's why practice, the whole thing. That's why I just thought about Allen Iverson and talked about practice. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, because that's what made Jordan the man. He
Yeah.
practiced so hard, but
Yeah.
the games were easy.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
you practice hard, the time for execution becomes easy.
Yeah.
And
Because
that's what habits
so,
happen there.
mm, I'm sorry to cut you off, man. When you talk, I don't know what it's about you. When you talk, things just start like really clicking in my head. Another book that I absolutely love is a book by Dr. Caroline Leaf. It's called Switch on Your Brain. That's the name of the book. And so she talks about how, there's like protein branches, I think she calls them, that's connected to your thought process.
Mm.
So when you train, when you consistently practice, in her words, she was saying you're actually doing brain surgery on yourself. You are training your brain that this is the pattern that we're going to go after. These are the habits that we're going to pick up. And that's going to hit you in every part of your life. We're going to practice it, but not only just we're going to practice, but we're turning our brain that when it gets hard, we keep going. When I come up into a place where I get stuck, I find a way to maneuver around it. And so like you literally, when you adopt a mindset to practice and be disciplined, you're telling yourself, this is we're going to succeed. And the body don't go nowhere without the mind. And so your body starts to go towards success. Start going towards the answer. It start going towards getting unstuck because you are telling your brain like, no, this is what we're going to do. And so again, as you talk, there's these different things that start clicking, man. So I'm really appreciating this conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same here. I love it. You're speaking my language just because I have a degree in exercise science and sports medicine. So, I would say I have a basic understanding of how the human body works.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the brain and neuroscience and all that stuff, we are malleable in terms of rewiring our brain to do things that it wasn't used to. And that's exactly, what you're saying, just I guess maybe in layman's terms, if you will.
Yes, sir.
Um, and that's what it takes to obtain or achieve things or the dreams that we have, because usually the dreams that we have, we're not yet that person. And so in order to become that person, we have to train ourselves to think, be, and act differently. And that's where I think kind of the whole, fake it till you make it saying comes
Yeah.
from. Um,
Right.
and I think that's kind of what the foundation is. It's act as if, so that your body and your mind and you're preparing to do.
Absolutely, man. I
Mhm.
couldn't have said it any better myself, sir. So let me ask you, what are your next real goals? Like, what are you looking to scale, solve next? What's next for you, Jason? Help me out, man.
Yeah. Right now, the goal is multifamily. So for me, it's about going from, um, I guess, an LP, a limited partner, to the GPC, the general partner seat. And I need to get there to understand if that's where I want to be. Again, time freedom, things of that nature are important to me. I got a young family that, I want to be there in all the moments of their lives and things of that nature. And
Yeah.
so time freedom's a big thing. And so being a GP, I feel like gives me the financial freedom, but will it give me the time freedom? And so that's what I'm working on trying to figure out, and I'm actively working at having a seat at that table, because
Yeah.
there's a lot that goes into it. I think a lot of people, with if you subscribe to a YouTube University, as they call it, a lot of people are on there, trying to get you to click on their course or their whatever.
Yeah.
And they tell you, land your first multifamily in, I don't know, 30 days, 60 days
Yeah.
or something like that. And it's like, look, I'm a big believer in a lot of things are possible because I actually lived it, especially with my baseball story. But there has to be a reality to it, right? So, and I tend to play in sort of the general circle, not sort of the outliers, because outliers are outliers for a reason, right?
Yeah.
And I generally tend to play in that circle because that's probably where my outcome or things are going to happen for me. And if they go outside of that, that's just, gravy on top.
Got you.
And there's a lot more to multifamily than, landing your first deal in 30 to 60 days. So
Yes.
it's a little bit more complicated than that.
Just a tiny bit more complicated, just a tiny bit. Yeah. No, absolutely, absolutely. Listen, Jason, this conversation has been incredible, man. I easily could talk to you for another 30 minutes, and that's on the easy side. Probably could go more than that. But listen, man, if someone wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, learn more about what you're doing, how can they get in contact with you, sir?
Yeah, I appreciate it. You can reach me on LinkedIn. I'm active there. I'm not really active on any of the other social media. I try to play in the sandbox where quote unquote my people would be. So
Yeah.
LinkedIn's a big one. You could also reach out to a website we have for some property that we have. It's called sunmistmanagementgroup.com. Just fill out your form there and we'll get back to you. It showcases a specific property that we've got under contract. So
Got you. Got you. So, man, listen, I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this sincerely. One, thank you for your time. You talked about time throughout this podcast. And so we both know time is very valuable. Like our time is a premium for us, right? And we can put whatever value we want to put on our time, right? Because it's our time. So I want to say thank you, sir, for your time sincerely. Want to say thank you for your story. Now, I put high value on people's story because all of us have a story to tell. The late great Kobe Bryant, before he passed, he says, "Nothing in this world moves without story." Nothing. The cement truck, the houses that built, the computers that we on, the lights, everything has a story to tell. So thank you so much for sharing your story. And lastly, thank you for your perspective. Thank you for the way you think and bringing that thought process to this platform. So sincerely, Jason, I want to say thank you, man. I appreciate you so much.
appreciate you having me on, Quentin. I appreciate the kind words, man. Those are good to hear. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. All right. So listen, y'all heard Mr. Jason. Y'all got the value. I think we gave you a pretty good episode, if you ask me. And so definitely make sure you subscribe because I'm telling you, we're going to continue to bring up incredible people just like Mr. Jason and let y'all hear these stories that are really just so impactful. And I just want y'all to keep coming back. So definitely make sure you subscribe. So, Mr. Jason, I want to say thank you again. And to everyone else, we'll see you on the next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.